because of you can handle large uh, you know data, I would say, because for us as a finance professional, for us what matters, so large data, of course, I mean, if you have, let's say, any kind of data where you want to process, or you want to, let's say, build something or automate something, it could be anything, right? So for that, so what is important for us, the model which can handle your complex data or long data, I would say, whatever data that you have. All right. So definitely we'll go through it, the use cases and all, since the master class is, or workshop is for 2 hours. I would like to cover more and more. So since it's a free, I'm not going to charge anything, no promotion, nothing. Just pay attention, because my intention is to help you, to understand the capabilities of AI and how you can efficiently scope your requirement and utilize AI to design, solution for it. So again, just let me give you brief about what I have done in last, because since you know my introduction, and also I don't want to again go ahead and provide my introduction, who I am and all, because everything is known on LinkedIn and YouTube. You can go and check. But let me just start with the use cases and all, because since we have time, which is just 2 hours, and I don't want to waste anybody's time here by just giving any other breaking stuff. So let's directly. Okay, one request to everyone, since it is a virtual, sometime maybe due to, let's say, the network or power cut. If unfortunately, if let's say disconnect, so be there. Just text me on my WhatsApp, or try to call me, so that we'll again connect. All right. Okay, so let's start now. See, as we know, all the most of the enterprises, but in banking and finance, the there are institutions who are still hesitant to implement AI because of two things. One is risk, regulatory risk, and second one is the data. Since I mean, in a banking or finance, I would say your data would be critical, right? If anything goes wrong, would be huge risk for enterprises. Just because of that two reasons, the enterprises, they are hesitant to implement AI. And the few, I mean, 30 to 40% enterprises, they have started implementing AI in some form, with limited capacity, with the different teams, where they can, I mean, see a repetitive works or task, or the teams, let's say, if they're dealing with the data, so they have already started implementing the AI in their businesses. So I'm working with one of the institutions where I have delivered five, I would say, projects on the basis of the Claude, because I have worked on Claude. So I have delivered five projects. So see, I'm working with investment firm, investment management firm, and we had a different challenges. The team was facing issues with reconciliations of different files, large files or data. I would say, like your trial balance, balance sheets, P&L, PCAP, partners capital statement, deal cash flow, and all. So I built a tool where, with the help of Claude, you just need to plug in, two data sets. One is from the original source, and another one is the accounting system. Just download and put it. So just click on recon. So system will, I mean, that the tool will perform reconciliations and help you to find out discrepancies, potential, root causes why you have a discrepancy and all, everything, and even match out the data on the basis of, let's say, GL account, or a GL account name or code, asset, liabilities, and all. So that was the one tool that I did. And another one is the data extractions from the indenture. Indenture, it means finance. In CLO, basically CLO and CDO, you can see agreement like indenture. It's a large, I mean, the pages agreement that you would see, and the team was facing to read that indenture. But I built a tool where the tool can extract the data from each pages, whatever data you guys required. So basically, you're a user, so you can define the what data input that you required. you can extract it, and or you can just load the indenture or even ILP as well, LPA document basically. So limited partnership agreement. So you can just load it and provide the instructions to the that tool what you are exactly looking for. Just like ticket, drag and drop, and then tool will extract all the details and prepare one Excel sheet along with all the details. And from there, automatically, if you want to perform the recon, just click on recon. Then same data will compare with the other data sets and tool and perform the recon as well. So there are, I mean, other use cases as well, but this is how I have started utilizing AI in businesses. But before that, guys, again, it's a very important that, but the main question here is, if you don't have a business understanding, okay, so now if I talk about, you're from a banking and you're doing research and you're a part of financial modeling, but if you don't know how we build a financial modeling, where we can extract the data, how we compare the different inputs, where we exactly check or what we check, or let's say how we want the data in the financial, let's say, model, then again AI can't help you much. So basically, you should have to have a business understanding. If I talk about, let's say, mutual fund, if you're working on a mutual fund, could be from a risk side or reporting side, then you should have to have an understanding of reporting requirements, reporting cycle, reporting data, data sources, then the accounting standards which you're going to follow. So if you have that understanding, then you can leverage out AI. Same for a private equity accounting side as well. Let's say if you're a private equity accountant and working on LBO model, or let's say you're working on waterfall calculation, which is one of the complex tasks that you can see a private equity. But again, for every fund, you would see a different assumptions, different background for a calculation of waterfall. And if you don't have an understanding of that, then you cannot leverage AI in that particular space. Because most of the time, what I have seen, even my colleagues, they just provide one line context. Hey, can you help me with this? Why AI will help and how? I mean, what's the background? See, unless and until if you don't provide background to the AI, who are you? Let's say you're a fund accountant. Then what you're working on? Let's say you're working on alpha fund. Then what you're actually looking for, which is a context. Let's say you're working on a waterfall calculation and you want to understand or you want to calculate the it could be catch up, carry, or GPLP portion. So if you provide, let's say, data, maybe preferred return, uh, could be, let's say, any benchmark or high watermark. If you provide precise details, sales value and all, then AI will work effectively for you, or even build automation where next time you don't need to calculate anything else, just update the input, and the seed can calculate waterfall for you. So this is how basically, see, if you don't have a business understanding, then you cannot leverage AI. First, understand this. AI छोटे बच्चे जैसा होता है. So if you'll have to train that model, you will have to train AI, then only it will work efficiently. And again, there are people still, I mean, they're using AI effectively in their business. Now your question would be how they're using it and why we are not. See, only again, if you don't have a business understanding, product understanding, process understanding, or your requirement understanding, you cannot. So you don't need to be very scientific about prompting or writing something, in a way that needs something, uh, janky panky wording and all. No, AI doesn't require that. What required to the AI is to business, I mean, the context or business, your business understanding and what you're looking for exactly in your own words. Again, there is no language barriers. Maybe let's say you're not pro in English to write about everything. That's absolutely fine. You can write your own language. If you are not even efficient to write it, you can speak it out, because AI has a capability to record your voice and accordingly handle your requirement or instructions. So here in the AI space, guys, you're like a director and AI is like an actor, like Raja Mauli. If you are a perfect director like Raja Mauli, then you can build a film like even Bahubali or other. So this is how exactly AI works. I hope now you got the context. I mean, If you really want to utilize AI in your business, then first and most important thing is the business understanding. All right. And again, the next one is the solution. Basically, solution, it means, of course, AI will provide it, but how you want the solution, it's on you, right? So I'll now walk you through one use case to just give you context. See, since you guys know, I'm into training, I have my academy, I'm running, a lot of things. So I had one, session with IIM, and I wanted to give them a walkthrough about IPO process, initial public offering process, but from the listing perspective, how basically we can, list the IPO, what are the steps that we can follow, how we can follow the, let's say, different steps for SME IPO, MSME IPO, or big companies and all. Even how about, let's say, different valuation models and all. Again, it's become even difficult for people who are from a chartered accountancy profession. It's not easy to do everything by one person. But what if I, let's say, put it everything in a way so that you can follow the same steps and build a IPO, the workflow for your client. And that will save time as well, because no one can remember all the steps, since you guys are all from corporate, so you know it, right? Then I built one, the simulation model, which you can see here. So look at this, and AI helped me to do, okay? So it defines all the steps, what is required from the regulatory perspective, what is required from the due diligence perspective. Again, SME guide, planning and cost, time, it defines everything, use cases as well. So let us what happened in industry and how they have, worked on. Calculator to calculate pre-money valuation, fundraising, existing shares, face value. You just need to put the numbers and it will calculate everything. Then documentations, templates that you can download it directly from here. The sites, just you need to click on it and it will take you to the regulatory side, BSE or NSE, SEBI process, SEBI expenses, what to follow, what not to follow, how to resolve it, how to check the status. I mean, all the steps basically that I have covered in this model. So valuations, the base of valuations, look at this. And this become very easy for anyone. Anyone, it means anyone. Even if you are not a chartered accountant, you can follow this. Look at this model, guys. I built this in just 5 days. I spent 5 days time, wanted to build something so that I can, refer this to walk through the all IIM, because I had a session with IIM Mumbai. So look at this, I mean, use case. It's a highly interactive, highly efficient. It saves time as well. See the architecture, how IPO demat account gets allocation. You can see live simulations, RTA rule in the picture. See, how share printing works. Now, again, the question would be in your mind, how did you build this? I'm sure, I mean, this would be a question in your mind. How did I build this one? Again, the scope. If you don't have an understanding of your scope, then you cannot build this. Then second thing, the understanding of business. Let's say IPO process. If you don't have an understanding of IPO process, like what you want, what it want exactly, let's say regulations, process, the documentations, and what you want exactly with this, then again, AI cannot help you much. Are you getting my point? So if you want to build anything, now you don't need to be a developer, engineer, or forward engineer and all. No, because as a finance professional or even non-finance professional from a different background want to do something, want to produce something, want to, let's say, automate something, you can do it. But you should, as I said, the scope and the business understanding, two things are very critical for us. And if you don't have that understanding, you cannot. This was the one use case that I built very long back. Now we're working on a lot of other things. So I'll walk you other as well so that it will give you, how you can efficiently utilize AI in your business. Second thing, I have a lot of use cases, 1,000+ use cases, but I want to just refer you couple of so that we can, cover other things as well, like how we can efficiently use Claude in our business. The second use case which I want to walk you through. So look at this. This is my one of the ambitious project. Okay. So you all are from finance, am I right? Because already answered and few people lately joined. So that's what I asked, because if you're from finance, then only I'll cover the use cases from finance, reporting, auditing, accounting, and all. Because if you're from different, then I'll have to maybe schedule the another workshop. So, or I'm planning to have it every month, so that let's see how it goes, because considering my time and all. So if you look at it, guys, this is a okay. Have you worked on Investron or Geneva multi-phone kind of applications? Yes, no? I'm sure you would have if you're from accounting background. Accounting, especially I'm talking about mutual fund, hedge funds, private equity, private credit, CLO and all. So if I ask you to build any working application, okay, to work on any the fully working applications like Investron, how long it will take? Come on. You can answer in chat. It's a workshop, it means it's a discussion. How long it will take? 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 year? See, the planning, at least it will take 5 to 6 months. Planning, it means, so how we want to build, the selection of technology, selection of language, selection of, let's say, hiring of right team members, then their budgeting, approvals, and so on. So a lot of, things that would require to start, the in any kind of a project, and to build applications like Investron, VPM, or any kind of, let's say, accounting application like Zoho and all. It require 5 to 6 months for a planning, one and a half years at least for a development testing. If you have, let's say, small team, and if you have, of course, large team, then maybe you can reduce the time, but that cost will increase in that case. So if I say, it will take at least to build application like, the full-fledged accounting application, which includes everything, it will take at least 2 to 3 years with the testing and everything, and then after you can share with the client to use this. But now if I ask this question to you, the similar applications, right, if you want to build with the AI, how long it will take? Come on. 1 day, 1 month, 1 year? You can guess, guys. Come on. 1 month? See, again, if you have a business understanding, I'll come to that main point. Why I'm saying again and again this, because the most of the people are lacking with the basic understanding of a business. Now, when we say business, it means now there are people who will say, look, can you define more? What do you mean business? Business, it means the process which you're working with. Maybe you're a part of KYC, maybe you're a part of accounting, reconciliation, regulatory reporting, or any kind of the processes which you are dealing with, that processes we can call it as a business. Right? So if you don't have a business understanding, you cannot leverage AI. And even if you try to use AI, yesterday I met one of the founder from, because I was in Mumbai, I met with one of the founder, and they're working something on financial modeling something, but they were not happy with the solution what they have built for. Then I asked a couple of questions, and then I got to know the scoping wasn't in a proper way. So what I mean here, if you have a business understanding and if you scope out everything in a proper way, then you can faster your development process. you can quickly design something, because see, AI has no limitation. It's work 24 by 7. So it's on you now. If you want to spend, let's say, 2 to 3 hours daily, you can. And if you have everything in a systematic way, then just, write the prompt, give a direction to the AI tool on time to time, and let it handle the AI. So AI will build solution for you within just, 15 days as well. Now, if I say I spent 15 days here on the system to build full place accounting, application, will you believe on this? I'm sure no, but I have. Still, my chart is open. If I go to here, if you look at this, my chat is open. So every day that I spend time, and AI handles even, code and everything. Look at this. The color code, from color code to everything, means all the logic AI handles it. So every day just I spend 2 to 3 hours on research, and then continuously write prompt. First of all, I mean, required a lot of research. You can do a research and then go to AI, write prompt in a systematic way so that AI can understand your prompt or what you're exactly looking for, and accordingly build it. Now, if I walk you through this, so if you look at it, if you have worked on Investron, how Investron looks like, where you can see a guys, where you can set up the fund, right? So here you can set up the fund. So you can set up the funds by adding the values. Add the values, whatever you want to add. Create the fund, select the currency, date, group name. So all you can select and add it. Even you can define the terms. So once you, I don't want to now go through each one because it will take time to do so, but I'll walk you through how I have, developed this one. So that's how you can understand the capabilities of AI. Okay. So look at this. I mean, it exactly works like your Investron, and even more, better than Investron, I would say. So you can just simply add the entity terms, define everything. So it looks like this. So Sequoia group that I have created. And if you look at it here, so now this entity is active. Open this. It capture or hold all the information, fund or header information, carry information, the all the entities which comes under Sequoia Group, all other entities are there. The portfolio company or holding company, SPV companies, and all. Each company will hold the records. You can directly go through that, records to see how that company is, holding the information. You can create entity from here also. Here you can see a structure like exactly looks like in Investron, right? So let's say the portfolio companies, SPV companies, management companies, growth companies, or GP companies, and all. Because every business, or every, let's say, fund, if you're from fund accounting, could be mutual fund, hedge fund, venture capital funds, private credit funds, or even, if I talk about companies like Tata, Reliance, Adani, Ambani, and other, groups, they all have a 100 plus groups of different entities. Could be for investments, could be for operating entities, could be SPVs, right? But here in this particular app, I have, built in a way so that hold the your structure of entities, define the role of each entities, define the percentage of each entities, their class, ownership percentage, then type of companies, and all. If you look at it here in the chart, the Sequoia Growth Fund 3 LP, which is the fund, and holding the three different the entities under that the main fund, which is one is SPV Alpha, then SPV Holding, Sequoia Holding, and Real Estate. And under holding, there are other three SPVs. So look at this, guys. Now, if you ask any developers to design this, okay, it will take hell amount of time. It's not something easy. First thing, you will have to define on paper, write it down everything, or chart it out everything, or draw everything what you want or how you want, and then you can share that with developers. And there is again no guarantee that if the developer is new, not, let's say, experienced one, won't be able to design that solution. It will take, time, again required cost as well, right? So here you can define the terms, then the different classes. You can create it like the, hedge fund or even private equity to some extent, I would say. I'm sure you would have heard about that. We create classes, correct? But here you can create a classes. You can onboard your investors, whatever investors that you have, align that investors to the fund or entities, You can track the transactions, and here are the postings basically that you can post. You can set up, I mean, all the static information. You can define the entities. You can define the chart of accounts. If you're from accounting background, I'm sure you would have heard about chart of accounts, because the chart of accounts basically define the accounts as per asset, liability, expenses, and income. And the same logic basically would be integrated with your reporting, right? You can define the sub GL. You can add it manually. So whatever GLs that you want to, add, the transaction types you can define. Here I have covered 323 records of different transactions. This accounting model is not only compatible for funds, but also for normal businesses as well. Like Reliance Group also can use this, because you can modify, you can override any GL codes if you want. You can design reports in a way that you want. So a lot of the features that I have integrated. But the thing, think about, if I would have send the just one liner prompt to Claude, hey, can you just handle my requirement and build an accounting module? It will not. So if you have that, let's say, understanding in your mind, if I just ask Claude to do this, it will not. If you should have to have your scope with you guys, then only AI can systematically put everything, and then see a result. Like the result is in front of you, right? So currencies you can set up, the strategy, the securities, then allocation terms, because in a fund accounting systems or even in a normal accounting systems, we define the allocations. Let's say, for example, the first allocation which talks about the GP and LP. In a private equity, we will have a GP and LPs, right? And even between GP and LPs also, you can define the terms, how we want it. It's equal split or by ownership, by custom, or how we want it. So just think about it. If you don't have understanding of allocation rules, allocation methods, or allocation types, or how you can configure the allocation, let's say in a business logic, then do you really think that the AI will handle on its own? Answer is no. So you should have to have an understanding first. So if you don't have understanding, AI cannot help you at all. Look at this. And it's a real application. You might, again, I haven't deployed it, so I'll deploy it maybe in just next 15 days, because the backend is also required. The developers, they're working on backend and they're working on backend to build it. So once it is built, then maybe it will live for all to use this application. The group of workspace, you can see the different groups. It means the companies. Here too, we have groups as well that we have added. Group statement companies that we are talking about. This application is compatible for normal company accounting as well, along with your fund accounting. So all your company level accounting you can track. We have an investor onboarding here, so that track the journey of investors, where it exactly. So it is in a draft status or KYC or AML pending or tax or qualifications. So basically, all that process we have automated it. Look at this process. So here it provides all the checks of investor, means each investor. For example, let's say Calpus, which is where we are doing onboarding of it. It holds the, all the checks which is required. Look at this. Have you seen any kind of system which track everything like this? There are different systems, but in a one system, I'm sure no. But there's one system which covers everything and provide you a journey of onboarding of your investor in details that cover all. And then once it is onboarded, then from here you can start linking that investors to the fund basically. And this covers for a shareholders. If you have shareholders in your business or normal business that I'm talking about, or investors, so it covers the different investors with a different status. Is it an employee pool, or is it, let's say, your note holders, and so and so. So this is how AI works. If you know how to use it, you can book the transactions. See the how system, it is automatically work. In a fund accounting, basically, if you want to, let's say, do a record of any transactions, what we do first, we go to the fund. Okay, select the fund. Let's say Sequoia Group is the main entity. or entity which you want to post is, let's say, SPV. At SPV level, you want to post the transaction. Select the transaction date. Allocation rule you can select. If you select the allocation rule, then it defines their percentage. In this particular allocation rule, there are three investors: Calper, Sovereign Wealth Fund, and Yale Endowment, and define their percentage as well. Now, if I put amount here in the system, let's say we have received a capital call is updated, source through bank transfer, status, you can select the status of transaction and update the amount here. So look at this here. If you see at a SPV level, it automatically split to three investors. So now if I book the transaction, it automatically posts. And if you have, observe here, so GL accounting also, I mean, debit and credit account also picked up automatically. So I haven't asked system to do so. It picked up automatically. It's just I need to, submit book, so it will book. Again, to build this, guys, it's a very complex things to do so. It's not a 1 hour journey. It's not a 2 hour or 2 days or 1 week journey. It's a journey of at least a month with AI. If you sit on AI properly, again, free AI tools, it won't work much. If you are paid, because we have a max plan, right? So we can afford it because we have a developers and all we can afford. We are paying almost every month 150 to $120 in between the bills that they are sending to us, the Claude. But fine, we are able to draw ROI, means return on our investment. So we are happy with it. So now if you look at it, the same, the model which you can see with Investron, the even Geneva and other, with the Geneva, even it's a highly, manual, where you can, when you book it, it asks you to select the different accounts and all. But here we have automated GL accounts. You just need to select the transaction, what sort of transactions that you're booking. So system automatically picks up and update. And then you can also select the instrument, because in a fund business, basically, sometime it asks you to select the security or strategy or instrument and so that you can align that particular investments of capital call, or let's say transactions, to that particular strategy. Because this is how the fund businesses they works. They allocate PNL on the basis of strategy, on the basis of entities. Or in a normal business also, it works in that way only. Because if you have, let's say, 20 entities within a Reliance group, and let's say each entity has its own share, right? So we'll have to define their share in the system only, so that once we book the transaction, so system automatically allocate. Let's say for a GeoMart, we have a 20% allocation. For Geo Finance, we have a 50% allocation. For a Reliance Oil, we have, let's say, 30 to 40% allocation of, could be expenses, investment, and so and so. You just need to book the one entry and it allocates everything. But again, here, how AI knows it that I want to build a system which, let's say, GL accounts which are linked with the XYZ number or code, or maybe fund. How the AI knows it, guys? That's what I said. If you know it, your requirement in a better way, then you can design anything. There are no limitations at all. Now, if I quickly, there are a lot of things to discuss on even this model as well, but now I don't want to, get into more details. So if you look at it now, the trial balance, see the view of trial balance, you can generate the trial balance even in PDF as well. Now your question would be, can you show us balance it? Yes, your balance it looks like this. Even you can manage the configuration view as well. So it's very easy to handle. If you don't want this view, you can change it view. If you want view in PDF, you can have a view in PDF. And this is fully compliant with your accounting standards. If you want IFRS, if you want UK GAAP, US GAAP, you can select that as well. So here we have fully the accounting, flexible accounting system that we have built. If you want to see a PCAP, you can see PNL, you can see a PNL in PDF as well as Excel. The view controlling, it's on you, how you want it. If you want to download. If you want to, let's say, directly share with investors, you can directly share with investors. Your ILPA. If you want to check the partner wise, you can check on partner wise as well. See. So this is how basically, the AI basically works, guys. If you have your requirement, right, then you can do anything with AI. But first condition is you will have to sit on AI at least for 1 or 2 months. If you don't have understanding, first learn it. For example, let's say you're working on, as I said, you're a part of investment banking and you're working on M&A, or your key task is to review documents, perform KYC, collect the data of A or B company, analyze this data, and so and so. You have this particular requirement, let's say, and you're doing everything in Excel manually. Now, just figure it out with AI how you can collect the data automatically. So it means you can ask your client to save the data on certain path. So client will save it maybe on email or let's say any folder. And from there, AI will pick everything. So now if I say I have automated my MacBook with the Claude, you won't believe, but yes, it's automated. Now if I ask my Claude to, hey, can you just handle this and take care of this, requirement? Or let's say the files which is saved in XYZ folder. So I want that file and do a proper analysis and provide report. Even Claude can do it for me. So now without taking much time, so let's go to the now Claude, and let me just brief about different feature first so that you can use it effectively, right, in your company or business or project, or even at an individual level as well. So are you enjoying, guys? Yes, no? Are you there? Am I audible? Hello? Okay. Is it interesting or not?
Yes, sir. It's interesting.
All right. So now go to Claude. So once you log in here, so this is a Claude, okay? So all are my live project. So if you, yep. So once you log in, it looks like this. The chart which is for your individual level. So if you want to do something at an individual, and if you want to communicate anything with Claude, you can use this chart feature. The co-work, which is for if you have other team as well, or if you want to allow other people to also go through it and work on it, so you can use co-work feature, right? So chart and co-work. Second is model. Either you go through chart or co-work. In both the cases, you should pick the right model. So basically, these are the artificial AI intelligence agent, I would say, which has a more capability to handle your task or complex data. It could be related to data visualization, data cleaning, data automation, and all in in any format. I would say could be PDF, or could be your Excel, could be HTML file or wave file and all. So it handles. So in I think in last week, the Fable, which is now made live for all of us. So it's a highly capable model. It was banned due to risk as well, because again, there are pros and there are cons. Every technology comes with pros and cons. It's not something that only you can see a benefit. If let's say AI implementation goes against your strategy, it will cost you, you know uh, it will cost you much. I mean, it would be heavy cost. Again, let's say we cannot rely on AI. Sometime it can access your private codes and leak that information as well, kind of a breach. There are pros and there are cons. I mean, if they are offering a lot of benefits at the same time, due to risk and due to if let's say if you don't have a efficient people to handle the AI in efficient way, so it will double the cost to the company. Means labor cost plus AI cost, because AI charge on the basis of token. Will understand that as well, like how the token economics works and what is token exactly and how you can write the prompts as well. So I have something, but before that, at the end, because if we run out of time, so at least we should cover the main, and then maybe at the end we can spend time on the what is token, how it works, how we can calculate the ROI, and also I have something, so maybe I can share with you directly, or we'll go through it as well. Means 20 to 25 minutes time we can spend on that at the end, because I don't want to just focus on that, because important is this one. If you look at it, these are the models. If you have a simple task, you can use Haiku model, Sonnet, Opus, and Fable. I use Opus and Fable because I was using Opus for that, the project which I'm working on, accounting system. And the Fable, which is again, you can use for the same, like if you want to build something, so you can use Fable 5 model as well. So just select the model. Let's say I have selected Fable. Here you can see icon. If you don't want to write, okay, you can use this one. Press hold and just speak about it, and it handles your requirement. Second, from here, you can attach the connectors basically. So these are the connectors. So for example, let's say if you want to generate videos from the Higgs field, you can enable this one. If you have anything on Google Drive, so you can enable Google Drive. If you want Claude to handle your email box, then enable here as email box. If you want to build a presentation with the help of Canva or Gamma, these are the presentation tools, you can enable that. If you want to search jobs on Naukri or Indeed, you can enable here, so it automatically search different jobs and postings and provide your contact details of HR, and apply jobs automatically. Again, so make sure that you have Claude in Chrome enable and control Chrome enable as well. If you want to search anything on internet or Chrome, I would say, so if you integrate these two with the Claude, then Claude will search whatever the data which is available on Chrome and let's say the browser. So it scrap everything for you and provide you the details about it. Now, if you see the last one, control your Mac, it means I have asked to control my Mac. So it controls my Mac. And then this is again for a Google Drive. So these are the things which you can enable if you want to enable. Again, it's a choice, not something mandate. Okay. And how you can do it? Manage connectors. And just simply now, if you want to, let's say, Claude to remember passwords, I can just connect it. But I don't want to do it because if sometime it exposed, then would be difficult. If you're working on Jira, you can just connect the Atlassian here, and you can access the Jira through Claude as well. So now you don't need to log in Jira every time. So everything track it from here only, Claude only. All applications, whatever applications that you have, guys, you can access through Claude. Even the social media accounts as well, Facebook, Insta. If you want to automate that, you can. If you want Claude to generate videos and post it, again, it will cost you definitely. I mean, it's not easy something. The Claude subscription is required, and then Higgsfield subscription is required. If you want AI to generate, the videos and post it on time on behalf of you on different, script, definitely I will do it. But you need, the subscription from Higgsfields as well. So basically, here, if you want, you can, use that AI. And if you want to, let's say, access the file system or different files from your system, you can enable that desktop. If you want to draw something, you can just enable this. How you can enable? Let's say I have click on connect. Again, it has been connected with the Excel draw. So now whatever I want to draw, I'll just ask Claude to use, let's say, Excel draw and draw, let's say, maybe financial reporting chart which I want to see. Then AI can handle, or Claude can handle it. So these are the connectors basically. So you can connect with Claude. Now your question would be, look, sir, in a personal, I mean, on my personal desktop, I can do it, but in a company, I can't. Again, in a company, it will not allow you to connect anything. So your IT team basically, they ensure, the connectors which are in required connectors which are in place. It could be Team, Outlook, then different files, important files of your department. They'll connect with the Claude and you can access that. Now, keep one thing in mind, guys. Do not use any, foul language or any kind of adult messages to your teams, team members on team, because everything your manager can access it. It's just one liner, text if send to the Claude or GPT and ask, I want to see a, let's say, productivity or output or communication of this particular user. So it provides all the reports and give it to your manager. Now hereafter, your manager don't require to sit in one-on-one conversation and, to discuss, to have a discussion about your KPIs. All your KPIs will be tracked through email folders, what you have worked on, or files, so that the AI can build a summary of it and provide to your manager or director, VP, and they'll handle it from there. So hereafter, we don't require any, the one-to-one face-to-face conversation as well. There are a lot of, pros and cons, but again, it's just a note, avoid it, anything, it track everything means everything. Even don't access the browser if it is not required, because the AI track that as well. How many times that you have visited that particular things, and that send the pop-up to the IT team that this guy has opened the browser and they are searching this information as well. If you try to share any information to your personal things, again, AI track that as well and provide the detailed report to your security team or compliance team that you have checked and transfer this file to your personal network. And you basically, you should not do it at the end. This is from the, again, we are talking about the uses and implementation of AI. So you should, check that part also, or you should understand that part as well. Pros and cons, personal pros and cons. Okay, all right. So if you're in a startup, you can connect the Slack messages so that you can handle everything from the Slack or Claude. You can connect your calendar as well. If you connect the, let's say, calendars, it tracks everything. Now I'm connecting my calendars, but it asks the permission as well. So let's say if I provide permission, so these are the steps basically that you can follow. Select all if you want to give access to all, view all events or calendars and all. And see, now it's connected. So from here now, I don't need to go to actually calendar and set up a meeting. I'll just ask Claude, hey, I want to have a meeting with folks. Can you just set up a meeting? Claude can do it. But right connectors, it should be in place. That's the requirement if you're handling or using AI or Claude, at your own, space. Then second thing is the capabilities. Make sure, the capabilities which are enabled, like search and reference chart, you can enable it. Generate memory, just, enable it. Then if you want to, import memory from other AI, means if you're using, let's say, other AI, it means GPT, Perplexity, Gemini, or if you're a Copilot, if you're using other tools, and if you want to import all the history here, you can import as well. So import facilities there. Then the connector search, just make it enable. Switch model when message is flagged, also make it enable. Otherwise, you can't see the chart or your project when you switch the model. So make sure that you have enabled it. The artifacts also, you can enable. The AI powered artifacts also you can enable. So these are the basically features you should enable it before using, or starting uses of AI. Then go to a skills. So if you're working on any kind of, let's say, different, or if you need any kind of other, the MCP or any kind of references, if you want to basically use, so just add that as well, guys. So from here, you can just, add it if you want to add. So, or create it. So just use that also if you want, because this something provide you any, already they have, built in a systematic way, pattern and all. You just need to use that. So if you want, you can. And then the plugins which are also there. So plugins for, again, so if you have any plugins out from the outside, for example, if you look at it, this one, the small business PDF viewer or operations designs and all. So these are the plugins. So if you're from finance, I would suggest you should have, enable this plugin and the required connectors as well. So, but if you're not from finance, if you're from other, let's say, engineerings and all, so plugins which are already provided, so connectors also which are there, the GitHub which is required, I have installed it here, but you can install it, on your system. Then Slack and Linear, these are the basically things which we use in the development. So you can enable it, right? And if you're from product management, you can plug in or add this one to your Claude account. And if you're from legal design, I mean, depends, the what sort of role that you are playing, basically, just enable it. Why we should enable and why we should not? If you enable it, you can, the Claude will understand your behavior basically, and you are from finance, and your requirement, most of the requirement would be from finance. So accordingly, it will try to, provide you output. And if you don't, let's say, use any plugins, and just randomly, if you try to access it, so you might not feel that, the AI is helping you much. So try to use connectors, required connectors, as well as the plugins as well, necessary plugins, I would say. And of course, the coworks, which I already, defined coworks, which is for if you have a team and want to work, in a collaboration, so you can use cowork. The other can also, the refer your files and work on it. Claude Code is for engineers who actually want to write codes and use this facility to write codes or bug codes, or work on any kind of development project, so they can use Claude Code. Then capabilities, as we have already discussed, that you can enable the required capabilities and all. If you have any extensions, you can. So I would say at least, configured Chrome, or file system. These two, if you want to automate, your workflow. Apart from that, if you're working in your company and if you want to enable something, again, it will not allow you to do so. But if you think that, you required kind of any kind of, let's say, file integrations or any kind of other tools integrations, of course, I mean, you can check with your IT team. So in future, how let's say, if AI, AI assure companies, again, it's a, I mean, not something guaranteed things, but if AI companies assure companies about the data breach or data safety, right? So are you there, guys, right? Because I can't see your screen anyways. So if AI companies assure on data safety and security, then definitely, the in coming time, what will happen, I'll tell you. Let's say you're a fund accountant or you're an investment banker and you're working on XYZ tools. So basically, the tool will be integrated with your Claude or GPT, Gemini, different, AI tools. You need to handle it from the tools only. You don't need to go to actually, login system and all. Like, just login system and just keep it open, and then come to your Claude server and ask questions. Hey, I have received trade file or trade blotter. Can you do a recon? Compare these with the XYZ tab and check everything if it is correct. And if you think everything is correct, please post it. So automatically, AI then create the booking, update the books. And then you can ask, after the booking, can you please generate the report and tell me if it is correctly booked or not? Even that generate reports for you. That's how the future working would be. In the future, you don't need to actually go to system and do it. And for even normal businesses, like if you're a small business owner, you don't require any accounting applications, you don't require any reporting applications, you don't require any third person to design your banners and all. For a small businesses, basically the AI is enough. You just pay 5 to 10,000 per month or 50 to 60,000 annually. AI will handle everything from reporting preparation to model, handling your documentations, data extractions, data editing, report generation, PDF, ebook, whatever you want to do, you can. I mean, there are no limitations, basically, right? But yeah, these are the extensions which you can go through. Then the billing, the privacy part. See, I mean, if you want to allow. If you don't want to, these are the privacy things. It's on you how you want it. If you want to manage, upload files, share data, just explore it and manage it. This is your account profile, basically, not accounting. And this one is just a general things, name and all. So view, if you want to control, kind of, you can. So it's my desktop view, so I have it. And finally, your billing one. So if you look at it, we have a max plan. So more usage than pro, it means. So we have almost 1 month's credit with us, so we can use it, and we can use this credit for large projects as well. So it works without any interruptions, and for a free, you cannot use more than 5 minutes. It's just a one prompt. It asks you to buy more credit and all. So here you can track the usage capability. Now, very important thing, if you are a implementation manager and the company assigned this project to you to take care of AI implementation and track your usage as well. So you should always check here how the utilization, or your team is, let's say, working on different models, because every models consume more and more credit. So if anything goes wrong, it costs you a lot, because in a company, let's say there are 1,000 people who are working on AI, and if they use AI unlimited for that particular month, then you might see the Claude may generate huge bill for you, and it will cost you a lot. So just avoid that part, and always limit the bill, limit the amount, limit the plan, and accordingly subscribe the plan as well, because for enterprises they always ask you to they'll charge on the basis of usage. So avoid that, because do not allow people to use uh, Claude in an unlimited way. I would say always restrict user, because if there is a restriction, it means there would be a pause, and if need any additional credit, you can buy it. Otherwise, the it will cost you double eventually, because people nowadays just they send, let's say, lot of let's say prompt. It means the input, and generate any kind of different things. So it charges you basically, right? So restrict that plan, I would say, and here you can track the usage. So now I hope you have an understanding, and it's easy to understand. It's not a complex things. These are the things which is required, not required, I would say, but it is good to have if you want to use Claude in an efficient way. Now, if you have everything, so let's go to the here. Now tell me what you want so that I can try, let me see plugin if I can add. So now you guys tell me what you want me to do here. So that I can write the prompt. Okay, anybody have any kind of things that you want me to just pick that up? If not, I'll start with something. Let's say I'll start with I was working on something else. Where is that? Yeah. So this is my another project which I was working on. I'll just quickly walk you through, and we'll take this forward with couple of prompts, and we'll see observation and how I want it. Okay. So let me open this. So this is my hedge fund accounting lab. Basically, I'm developing. So this is kind of a live simulations which help you to track all the the end-to-end flow. For example, let's say you're into hedge fund accounting, and if you want to post, or if you want to understand the accounting flow, how it works. So let's say we have received investor subscription, right? Click on it. You can see why the entry would be debit and credit. You can override the amount, select the entity, which entity you want to post, select the accounting standards as well, accounting standards, IFRS, or which one is this. You can read the subscription notice that there are 3 investors. They are holding their the percentage of investment in the fund, and each want to subscribe now 95 millions to in total. So now you can even test it out if you want. It's a simulation. It means it's provide kind of a real experience. I was working on this project, want to build it in a complete simulation. Post it transaction. Go to journal entry. Here you can see a transaction, guys. Come to the reporting part. The GL created. The TB also updated. BS prepared automatically. The PNL also, PNL won't be there because it's a subscription. PCAP updated. Cash flow, NAV, and transfer of units. So all three have received now, let's say, units, 50,000, 30,000, and 150,000 units to each, because in a hedge funds, they will have to process even units as well if it is open-ended fund. Then series, how would be a series. You can allocate series to a funds or investors, because I was building now multi-series accounting, simulations for a hedge fund basically. So how it looks like, how I can merge different series into one and all. So I was working on that basically. But if you look at it, a couple of things I can see which are missing, right? So I'm unable to see here the. So now what? See, look at this now. I'll just copy the topic name, transfer agency multi-series section, and the transactions, because I can't see a link between two. I'm working on an ongoing project. Okay. So now if I start, and even again it takes time, but I'll just walk you a couple of prompt, how the prompting works and all. So this is the project which I want to work for my students, where I can share this with my students so that they can practice it out, because we are into training, as you know this. I'll go to Claude. I'll ask Claude. Okay. So here, like, write the prompt now. I can't see clear view of multi-series accounting. So now I'm defining my flow. I want, like, define the sorry. So this is just one, the prompt which I now look at this, the context. The transfer agency view is also not clear to me, and the new issues, even if you, let's say, create the different series and all, so I'm not able to link that to the transaction posting. So here it should allow to post, because after post, maybe here that it should allow to post the so I can I mean, basically, so I'm writing that to the instructions to the Claude. All right. So here you can select the model, guys. If you have any image or reference document, you can attach it from here. All right. So I don't have anything because it's my ongoing project. So I'll just refer this one. If you want to select any different model, you can select the different model from here. But every model consume more. So make sure that you have a right model in place, because if I select now Fable consume more data. So for this particular project, Opus 5 is enough, I would say. So you can select the Opus 5 and just go to here and wait and see how AI handle your requirement. So look at this. Meanwhile, you can ask questions if you have any. Come on, it takes time, 2 to 3 minutes. It will take time to just complete my request. If anyone want to quickly discuss anything, you can unmute and ask. Come on. So are you there, guys, or because I can't see anyone?
Yes. Yes, we are here, sir.
Okay. So working in backend, building, so now building this architecture, because everything which is required architecture or foundation kind of, and look at this now. I provided the precise prompt what I want exactly, and that's what I was talking about, business understanding, guys. Let's say where series exactly come. Maybe let's say there would be a fund and entities. Under entities, you might see a, let's say, class one, class two, and then under classes, you might see a series A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Because in a hedge fund, that's how hedge fund, or even in a mutual fund, I would say you can say a series of the investments, basically the fund manager launched and accept the new investment under each series, right? So basically, I just wanted to simulate that so that my students will have a real experience. So they can create the series entities and link to it, track the performance, and consolidate the series in the lead series at the end of the quarter or month or performance appraisal cycle. But to build that, I need a data, I need a planning, I need, let's say, this the scope or requirement with me, what exactly that I want to build, and then only it will build for you. So let's see the outcome. Wait for 2 to 3 minutes.
Hi,
You
sir.
can read here as well each time. Sorry, go ahead.
Hi, sir. We are creating tools with the Claude AI, right, sir? So, what about the backup, sir? Backend data, where we can store our data for further reference or further modifications?
Yeah, it tracks everything. I mean, it saves all are the files, right? All are my files that I have worked on. These are the files where you can see backdated files.
No, sir. We have created tools, right, sir? We have created tools now.
Yeah.
So, for someone, if I'm a company, I'm using your tool. Where will my for this year I'm creating my data and reports. Okay, for new IPO filing or something like that. So, uh, if I have to uh,
I think
refer it
he's referring
next
to
year, or
production grade.
So you
What?
can see if you want to. Okay, so you mean that your other people also want to refer the same thing or use it for their outcome and all?
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah.
So you
We do
can
have.
create the project then. See, here is the project that you can create. So once you create the project, so it tracks everything for that particular project. Okay. And you can share that link with anyone so they can use it. So of course, I mean, it is not your fully application. It's just a UI, view. It handles your data basically. But if you want to make it live, so of course the backend is required. So you can ask if you have built something, let's say, very stunning and can save time for you, then you can share that with your tech team, show them what you have built and what's the how it will, let's say, solve the problem of XYZ things, and they'll make it live for you. So basically, once you build it here, so you can share this with your IT team after, maybe take approval from your senior or VP director, and they'll make it live for you in their company environment. But if you want to use it for your own, let's say, the files or processing something, or uh, to work on your different your individual requirement, it track everything. I mean, the Claude will handle that. Every time just you need to upload the file or build a file which you don't need to upload directly, pick it from there. You can automate certain tasks as well. So through implementing automation flow. But if you want to now, let's say if I want to make this live, if I talk about my accounting projects, if I want to make this live, so we need a developers to do so. It's not something that I can directly make it live from the Claude. So we
Yes, sir.
need
This is
developers.
what I'm asking. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So developers, that's what I said. I mean, it gives you the, what you required. I wanted, everything in this way. So now I have everything. So I'll share this file with developers. So developers will now, they have a fair understanding of what we want to build. So they'll exactly build the same thing which we are looking for and make it live.
Okay, sir. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
Basically, this resolve your, see, that's a simulation. But again, if you want to use it from Claude, you can use it without making it live to, live on any server and all. If you want to book the transactions, you can even build the import facility. If you have a raw data, import it, generate the reports, and share with your clients. With this model, if you don't want to, let's say, make it live on your company environment, you don't require it even. So what I'll do now, I'll just, ask to build the templates. I want just, the templates for booking transactions or booking, importing entities and all. So it will provide me templates. I'll fill the data automatically, through the Claude in the template. And I'll also ask Claude to pull the data from the template which we have built. And it automatically, update everything. So at the end, what I'll do then, I'll generate the reports, this one, and share with my client. Even I can enable the signing facility. So I'll sign it here and share with the clients. So if you want to use it, you can use it. If you want to make it live, you can make it live. But then if you want to make it live, then of course the backend team is required, basically the developers. So they'll prepare the backend and make it live for you so that the data will store in the database.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
All right. So if you look at the steps, so every time the what the exactly the Claude is handling or working on, it provides you steps as well. So now it's working on, so investigating Unicode character encoding, representation discrepancy, and also now it resolving that. So now the title updated class A, class series A, B, C. So it updated. So let's see. Then even it resolve problems as well automatically. Discuss with own and then resolve it, because in a Claude there are other agents as well. Multi-agent works together. So that's how it address all your issues. We'll see how it handle a requirement. Look at this. The two files that provided here, one is the test file with the code. So you can test the code as well. If you're a developer, then you can understand the code and modify it accordingly. And another one is the output, so which you can run now. So I'll run it and go to the transfer agency and see how it works now. Onboard investor from United States. So we have an investor now. So investor is here. The fund name is, let's say this one, the entity. Now again, so we are unable to link the entity, right? And the class also. So, but then investor is created. Okay. So, all right. Apply, crystallize, and roll up. So where we can create the series, create the fund, all right? Created alpha. So we'll have to test it as well. Feeder. Let's say it's a feeder. Entity name. And now go to class A or launch management fees. Single NAV. Class is now created, so you can add the series. Right. So series is now open. So now if I go to the series, sorry, transfer agency, then it should allow me to, yeah, series, and then series is also here. So look at this. So now I can post a subscription class A. Yes. Look at this now. I can see a GMT. This has been updated, but the point here is now where I can see on a transaction screen. So now if I want to post, can I see the GMT? I can't see a GMT. Again, we'll have to write a prompt for then another issue then, because now it resolve my the series issue. So I can link that class to the investor, right? So if you look at it here, Shivraj D account number, taxable, and then under the new issue, you can see a class A fund GMT, new series, and the class value. But I want the logic like, so this, when we post it, right? So it should see here, or from here, basically, we should be able to modify it eventually. Or if I select the transaction and see, no, you cannot pick it. Now I'll ask Claude to again, this is how guys it works. So what I'll do then, how I can narrate this. So let's see how it handle this. So what I want, if you look at it here, so post to entity, right? So if I post it, then this goes to the different entity. But what I want, if I have created a GMT fund and class and series, so it should allow me to, pick that entity, right? Then only your reporting representation would be appropriate. Otherwise, it will not. If I ask Claude to handle just, just build it, let's say only in this way, master feeder and all, because this is just the legal types of the business. It's not the actual entity. I'm asking about the actual entity which I have created. Let's say I have created here. So where is that? So here, let's say you have created any entity or fund. So it should allow to override when you post the journal entries from here. So this is what I have asked. So let's see how it handles it. Okay, so this is how, guys, you can handle your Claude AI, and you can build a different projects. Now let's quickly let it work. Claude, you can handle multiple tasks at a time. We'll go to Excel and we'll see in Excel how it works. So this is the Excel. So look at this. We have a transaction ledger. We have journal entries. We have GL, TB, BS, PNL, and this is just a complete view of a fund basically. We have NAV and checks. So if you're working on any fund, okay, this is the process which you can take a screenshot, or you can, if you want to enable Claude in your Excel sheet, so just click on add-ins basically. So in an Excel sheet you can see add-ins here. So through Excel add-ins, you can add the Claude or integrate Claude or Copilot to your Excel sheet. And once it is added, so you don't need to now, let's say if you're working on any complex data, if you want to apply any kind of, let's say, uh, you know H lookup, V lookup, or complex calculations like NPV, IRR, any kind of calculations if you want to handle, or if you want to perform reconciliations even, for that matter. So you don't require to you know now manually perform anything. AI will handle it. So if you have a data in Excel, it will handle it. How? Let's say we have transactions posted. All right. And I want to do a reconciliation of, so let me just see a data. We have a quarter one and quarter two. So come to here, we have a data. Create a recon set. Refer, sorry, transaction types, transaction sheet, refer period, and create the recon with Q1 to 24 and Q2 24. I want to see transaction types, class, description, debit and credit. Okay, it's working on something else. So let it first work complete it, and then I'll send the another prompt because I want to ask AI to just perform the reconciliations of this particular transactions and help me to understand the difference between Q1 balances and Q2 balances. So the transaction by transactions, let's say capital call, how much was the balance in Q1 and how much is the balance in Q2? Just want to see, that the reconciliation basically. So I have asked AI and let's see how it works. All right. So look at it now. I have asked another fresh requirement to create a separate recon sheet and do a reconciliation of transactions. And if you have a two different data sets or two different, let's say, datas in Excel 1 and Excel 2, so you can, what you can do, bring the two, Excel data in one set, and within Excel only you can ask, Claude to perform the task what you want to, do. That is a one way to do, and otherwise you can just load the directly to Excel sheets on Claude and ask your requirement. But my suggestion would be, if you want uh, the Claude to work efficiently or any AI tool efficiently, I would say, so don't create any hallucination situation where AI will hallucinate. AI even hallucinate and confuse. So make sure that you are giving precise instructions what you want to do, and which data or reference file the AI can refer, and even in the file also which row can refer or which sheet can refer to perform the reconciliations and even header. So provide that precisely basically. So if you try to just ask AI, to have a, handle the situation on its own, AI cannot handle it. All right. So look at this now. The two requests at a time, just I have asked AI to do so. We'll see how AI can handle my reconciliation requirement. If you look at the chart, it started building the recon sheet now. So it means it will create the another sheet, add the data over there, and perform the reconciliations. So let's see how it prepare it. Look at this, started preparing reconciliations, added recon after TB, total posting to the ledger. See, period 1 1 1 2 2 2. So let it handle this requirement. Meanwhile, we'll see the first one which we sent out. And now we'll test. So every time we will have to test to see whether it will allow or not. Still, I can't see it, but so this is how sometime it creates a lot of confusion, and even AI also create the fund ABCD. ABCD added class A. Series class ABCD. Where is that ABCD? Yeah, EB fund. So it's created now. So it should allow me to just link that. So let's see if allow or not. So it says investor, nobody onboarded it. I have created investor, but it's not allowing me to do. Investor is not there. What? So now series is there, but the investor, okay. So there is something happened with the investors, guys. So now look at this. So now again, we'll have to ask AI to handle this requirement as well. So I have asked to now take care of it. Sometime it hallucinate and clear your previous one, the task which you have performed, and then add new ones. But again, it's not. I mean, the whatever workflow that you are looking for, it's not good, right? If anything deletes. So what it says, it's not deleted. It's on the dealing tab. So what is this? Where is this dealing tab? It says it's on a dealing tab. But where is the dealing tab? So let's see how it handles this requirement. So meanwhile, we'll go to Excel file and see a reconciliations. Okay, all right. So transaction recon sheet created now with a transaction type category, then debit GL account, debit class description, and credit GL accounts. But if you look at it, guys, again, this is creating a lot of confusion, right? Even if you look at it, how the recon prepared. So what I'll ask then in that case, I'll just simply ask to refer this heads and perform reconciliation. Because we don't want recon for all other periods. We just want the recon for Q versus Q2, not the others. So now let's see how it handles. It says keyword Q1, Q2, but added a lot of other elements. Then we need a simple thing, not the complicated one. So we'll ask to even simplify it more. Because manually, if you do a recon, it might take, let's say, 1 hour or two. But if you just build a template and use the same template every time, you can automate it basically. So what I'll do then, once the recon is done, so I'll simply, ask to automate this template. How? I'll ask automate the template in a way that user will just, update the details, maybe in the one more raw tab that I can create. Let's say this one here. And I'll ask user to post the data in the raw tab. And from here, automatically the Excel will read everything, because someone in the group was asking about VBA. VBA, it means what exactly? you can record the steps. But now we don't record the any steps as such, because even if you're not a developer, which is fine, the Claude will handle that requirement, or GPT or Copilot will handle that requirement. Just create the flow. Now what I'll do next here in our raw tab, I'll ask to automate the everything, and it should link with the raw tab. So user will just update the data here in the raw tab, right? Copy and paste. And from here, AI will read everything and update all the tabs and prepare, including recon, prepare balance sheets, PNL, everything. Even waterfall as well. So let's say let's first handle the recon requirement. So again, it started reworking on it, and now you can see working in a correct direction. Still, I don't think so. It has built the facility for this. Sometime it takes time, guys. This is how, if the AI is not able to understand your problem, it means it's hallucinating basically. So you will have to now give a context, strong context. Let me just try this one. If not, the next step would be, then we'll have to take a screenshot properly and guide it where you want exactly. Created. There are bits which are missing. So where we can link the investors here. And then, okay, yes, now it's picked up correctly. But the point is, the investor, I wanted even investors to allow link. Look at this, guys. So attribute to class, it is there. So once you create it, it is there. But the now point is, the investor also I wanted, to link. Then only, let's say we have received subscription, then how can I define that the subscription we have received for this particular investor? So this is how, see, if you know your requirement, then AI will help you to build it. If you don't know how to, now again, to guide AI, you should have to have the detailed understanding of product, process, business. Let's say if you're working on equities, then equities, the trade life cycle, there are different financial ratios. If you're working on a fixed income, then fixed income, let's say valuations, the accounting, reporting part, the presentation and all. So you should have to have understanding of that. Then only you can handle AI in more diligent way. Otherwise, AI cannot help you to provide you output which you are looking for, because ROI, return on AI investment, is also important. Because if you're spending, let's say, $1 million yearly, and at the same time you're also investing a lot of money on your resources as well, and if, let's say, there is no productivity gain or utilization gain, then we cannot we'll have to, either we'll have to fire people, or else we'll have to reduce the scope of work that we are looking from the AI, basically. Or either maybe company may lay off you guys and then hire the experts who can handle the AI in a better way. These are the options where now the businesses is actively looking for. If the workforce is not skilled and who can handle the AI diligently, they are firing people. Or other way around, if you have, let's say, skilled people but they are not able to understand business and utilizing AI in efficient way, where companies spending money on AI plus resources. So basically, the for a company, the cost has been almost double. And it's a trouble for company in a long run. Company will take the decision. Either they'll reduce the scope of work from the AI, or either maybe they can fire people, reduce the workforce, because nobody want to increase their cost just for the same work, right? And if you learn AI, if you understand how it works, how you can scope out things and build model in an efficient way, then definitely you can generate the good ROI for companies project, and make money as well out of it. So look at, let's see. Yes, now it performs the recon. If you look at it, so what we wanted, the difference between Q1 and Q2. So there is a change between the total amount booked and the total ledger. So what it means, so investor wise and portfolio wise amount with the Q1, where is that? So we need, again, the view is not good at all. So, but we can work on view later on. So let's see how it has worked. Transaction details, amount, where is the comparison? But yes, here you can see a comparison. Change Q1, Q2 data. If there is a change, so highlighted change as well, the variance, so that you can do a recon with this. There is a movement. So this is how AI can work for you guys. If you want to generate the PDF reports with TB, let's say we have this TB, and if you want to generate the TB in as per IFRS, let's say this is a private equity fund. You can provide even color code as well if you want. So let's see, blue, white and blue color code that I have asked for, and how it will prepare the financials of So without any application, I mean, even if you have a data in your Excel, so Claude will transform into PDF or reports that you can share with anyone, and even fully compliant with accounting standards as well. So I have provided a reference of IFRS. So let's see. After this use case, because we have now almost, I think we are done with the timing, but we can spend 20 minutes more on so how we can write prompt and all. All right. And here also, I'll share the link as well, guys. You can go through it. So there is a framework which we can refer. Right. So the framework is the CRISP framework for finance AI professionals, which you can use. I'll share this link as well. So if you look at it here, so see, if you are from, I mean, finance or hedge fund, IFRS or mutual fund industry, so you should, so there is a framework that we refer basically, the framework name called CRISP, framework for finance professionals. So if you want to write your prompt and improve your basically, prompting skills, so there is a framework which is there. I mean, on this site, I have already posted. You can go ahead and, access it. So the C, R, and SP will basically define, and this is something important that you can learn from this, workshop. But again, 2 hours is not really is going to help at all. Right. So look at the C. C, it means context. Okay. So for when you write the prompt, first you need to set the scene, right? You should tell the AI who you are, what is the situation you are in, the domain which you are working, and the what exactly you are basically looking for. So you should specify that. So if you look at the tip, specify your role, specify the name of the company, type and size, the state, the time period, means if you're working on financial statement, because in my prompt, if you look at it, I asked for a recon Q1 and Q2, right? So that's the context basically. So you should provide that eventually if you want AI to help you for this. And then mention the jurisdiction as well if you're working on reportings, US GAAP, IFRS, ILPA. The latest prompt which I asked AI to do so, it was for IFRS, right? So that's a jurisdiction. So if you provide that, you may see a better outcome from the AI eventually. And here are some real examples. If you're working on financial modeling, so you should provide this context as a VP of finance. I'm building on this and that, or let's say the revenue of the SaaS company is this. So basically provide the number or context exactly what you are looking for. Same for hedge fund, same for IFRS audit, same for a mutual fund NAV. So you should provide the context first. Second, the requirement R, which you should define, your requirement exactly. Provide the exact data, numbers, assumptions, and it's the most critical in finance. If you want the AI should quickly help you for your requirement, then you should provide these things. Otherwise, it will not help at all. So let's look at the let's say the context. Let's say you're working on any valuation model. So you should provide these details: the revenue, the growth number, the the EBITDA, the capex. So this is basically the requirement. The AI is required. If you're working on any the fund business or fund accounting model or waterfall model, so you should provide the details. What about the catch-ups, fleet? Is it a European or American model? The terms, the hurdle, start date, end date. So you should basically provide the requirement in a more precise way to get the outcome which you are looking for. So that would be basically your R. One is context, second one is requirement. Right. Third one is instructions. So you should provide the clear instructions, means after the requirement you should provide the instructions as well what the AI want to do. For example, let's say define the methodology, standards, or analytical approach. In a finance there are always multiple valid methods, right? DCF versus comparison methods or now methods. There are other methods as well. So you should basically provide the instructions like the output which you want in which method. Is it in a DCF method? Is it in a comparable method? Means what exactly basically you are looking for. So you should provide that. So for example, let's say in accounting, what happened? You want to build something the valuation method, but in a IFRS 16. So AI cannot decide on its own whether you want in IFRS 16 or US GAAP or UK GAAP or Indian accounting standard. So you should define that. For example, let's say you can define apply IFRS 16 for the lease using the modification retrospective approach with the practical expedient for a short-term lease. So basically, this is the instructions that we are giving it to the AI. And if you give it to the AI and then see a result, so it means now if you if you just put it in a sequence, first define the context, second the provide the requirement, your requirement, precise the requirement along with the data, and then third one is the instructions. And the next is structure. So after the instructions, you should also define the structures. For example, let's say specify the outcome format, whether you want in PDF, Excel, or in Excel again in table or text. So how you want it, your output. So define that as well. Specify the output format. AI default to propose paragraphs. Means what exactly you want basically. So here you can see maybe in a let's say you're asking AI to build a waterfall model, then you should define it. So how you want it, amount in let's say USD or INR, or apply the cumulative, or maybe you are also looking for a description, you want everything in table. So how you want exactly, so you should define it. If you ask AI to take care of everything, then AI might, as I said, it hallucinate and provide the different outcome which you might see you're not happy with that. So that's how we have build this the framework basically. So if you just use this framework, then you can effectively utilize any kind of your AI tool. Let's say could be GPT or Claude, Perplexity or Copilot, any kind of tool, so that you can just leverage out by implementing this framework while writing prompt and all. Then precision, basically, again, this is also very important. Precision, it means, so you should add quality checks. If you want any kind of, let's say, validations with that particular data. So if you remember in the prompt, the Excel prompt, which I asked to produce, the PDF report, but I also asked to check the accuracy, or check all the tabs and make sure that the data is accurate. If not, it will highlight to me basically. So you can, in that way, you can provide a precision or quality checks. For example, let's say in a recon, you have a threshold up to $5. You can match it. So provide that threshold, and let's say that threshold only apply to the equity. So you can provide that. Let's say there is a threshold, applies on equity where the difference is less than $5. You can directly match it up, and more than $5, please highlight to me. So do not match. And also you can provide context. Let's say you can check only, let's say whereas the QSIP, maybe ISIN, the other codes which are in line, then only match it. If not, don't match it, just highlight that separately. So in that way, you can provide a precision basically, guys. If you provide a precision, then AI validate everything, and your outcome also would be most accurate, I would say. So if you want, again, if you want the accurate output, so make sure that you have applied precision. And that's what I said. If you remember now, since beginning, I'm saying the same thing. So business understanding. So what it means, business understanding. So business understanding, it means this is basically, what exactly you want and how you want the precision, context, instructions. Without but understanding of business, you cannot provide, all of this to the AI, right? And it is required, I would say. So this is how basically, guys, they use AI in an effective way if you want. And now the next thing, if you look at it, I won't be able to take, more and more things because we are already running out of time, and you will have also questions as well. So at the end, so if you look at it, the prompt, so we have referred the here for This one you can refer. For a hedge fund, anyway, the report that if you want to produce, so you should provide or write prompt in a way. If you look at it here, so as a fund administrator, calculating monthly NAV for 200 million long short equity hedge fund, gross returns which are at 3.2%, management fee 2% and 12 performance fee 20% over high water mark, 210 per share, which is a current share, shares 1 million total shares, prior NAV, which is provided everything, calculate gross NAV. So now in this prompt, if you look at it, you can find CRIPS, CRIPS framework, basically the context, your role, outcome, everything means everything. And if you look at this one, the handle case where gross exceeds high watermark, but the net of fees doesn't, annual crystallize only. So what it means, so this is something, it's a precision, provide a precise things what the AI want to do for you. So now if you look at the zero touch pipeline, so here if you want AI to do everything, so just write this prompt in a way, as a head of fund operations, designing automations for a 50 funds, which is 10K positions, 5 pricing sources, Bloomberg, IC, market, internal broker, and the tolerance limit also provided. If you look at it here, 0.5% plus minus, and for NAB as well, same. And design 8-stage flow chart with the decision gate, exception types, STP targets, indicate automated versus human stage, and then handles stale price as well, more than 24 hours. If there is no change, provide everything. Missing prices, corporate actions, apex mismatches, and everything. And even the defined 4-tier escalation waterfall as well. So now if you provide this prompt, it handles your NAV or pricing as well. So basically, so what it means, guys, as I said, AI is like an actor. Only act when you provide, the precise direction what AI want to do for you. If you provide, the context to the AI, then AI will handle it. Otherwise, AI will not handle it anything. So this is how you can see that, how you can write AI and all. Sorry, my bad. The prompt and all for AI. For most of the AI tools, they work in a similar way. So there is no, uh, big difference to how we can write AI for Copilot or write, let's say, prompt for GPT or Claude and all. So now, if you ask me the comparison between Claude and uh, let's say the Chat GPT, again, both has a similar capabilities, but for a large data, I would suggest go for Claude. And if you have a let's say small data sets and all, you can again use the GPT. But if you want more, the graphics, it means I'm talking about the images or visuals, then you can refer the GPT, because the GPT has decent, I would say, capability to handle your graphics as well. But AI, the Claude Oral, I would say, which is good for Excel data or data which is in your PDFs, or let's say if you want to use the Claude in SQL or Power BI for that matter, you can use that. But anyways, the Copilot is also now you can enable in Power BI. So now you don't need to learn the Power BI or SQL in a traditional way. Now you can implement AI and just write the prompt. But again, understand the how actually, the Power BI or the SQL works, and you can just enable it. And then from there, through prompting, you can handle your complex data sets, reports, data updation, data manipulation, data inserts. But again, for that, you should have to have an understanding of the data types, the data syntax, the use of different syntax and all. Then only you can handle it more diligently. To spend more time on AI, it will cost more to the company. So make sure that if you're using AI in a business, so if you're efficient, then only you can generate the better outcome. The company is not going to pay you salary and even to pay a bill of AI, artificial intelligence. Either way, they'll cut down the workforce and they'll use the increase the utilization of AI, or other way around. Now there are two types of the mindset which I can see in industry. One is they want the traditional way to handle the client requirement, and another one is they have implemented AI and reduced the workforce. But the if you at this stage, if you ask me which one is better, nobody can tell you, because from the security perspective and even from the the complex task and accuracy perspective, still AI need more improvement. But this is very early to say or conclude anything, I would say. So we should wait at least for next 1 year to see how AI will contribute in this industry. But my suggestion would be learn it, guys. Don't wait for it. Learn it, upskill yourself, practice as much as you can. There is no rocket science at all. If I can do it, then anyone can do it. I'm not from engineering background. In my search bar, you can see there are, 30 plus projects. I have built 1,000 plus use cases as well in last 1 year. You can also build it. Nobody's going to stop you. So pay the bill to the AI and then upskill it. If you want to even prepare for an interview, you don't need anything at all now. So just go to the AI and ask questions as much as you can. Whatever questions that you have, ask questions to the AI, and AI will handle it. Right? So look at this my requirement also it handles. So now if I create it, you can see here, if I create there. So but now I don't want to again go there and just do it, but rather we can cover the other things, so which I had prepared. So I'll share you even files as well. You can just go through it. Link I'll share you so that maybe you can. So I have prepared the workshop notes for you guys. I'll make it available, this notes on iFinish site. We have a site as well. So if you have time, or if you allow me 10 more minutes, I'll just brief about what is token and how you can calculate ROI, which is something important, I would say. If anyone asks you in interview as well, so what do you mean token, or what is token, or how does exactly works, and how we can get the outcome out of it. So if you have 5 to 10 minutes, I can explain that. Otherwise, I'll share this with you. You can read and go through it. It's on you. So how you want it? If you want me to allow now to ask questions to you, or want me to go through this?
So please explain.
Okay. All right. See, in a AI space, you can continuously hear the word like the tokens, tokens, tokens. Right. So how token exactly works, guys? Let me go to the tokens only directly. Look at this. Let's say you have a text. It means prompt. Basically you write prompt, correct? So we have also drafted a prompt, couple of prompt that you have seen. We had outgoing projects, and I asked AI to perform my task, and then that's how AI basically handle my task. So in AI now we have a AI which is like the two-way model, where one is you can send the text, AI read it, and again AI generate the output. So when you send the text to the AI, that also it will turn into tokens, and even the AI generate the outputs, that also will be calculated in tokens. So basically now AI has a model which is encoding and decoding. Encoding, it means the what you write, and decoding, it means what you have a output basically. So when we say tokens, how tokens works, look at this, guys. You have a word which is accounting, okay? You have a word which is accounting, or you have another word which is clawback. Now, I'm talking about word. So AI basically that turn into a different pieces. If you look at it here now, TCCOENTING. So here you can see a 10 letters in this particular word. Second, in clawback, you can see around 8 letters. So basically AI turn into all of this into just numbers, because AI cannot understand the text. AI understand the numbers, so AI turn into numbers. And when they turn into numbers, so that numbers basically we can call it as a basically token. If you look at this, EC means from this accounting and clawback, and even the numbers also, if you ask figures, So turn all of this into tokens where AI can understand it. Sometime AI can group that tokens as well. Kind of, let's say, accounting could be just one token, or sometime the each word, letter can be a token. So it depends on the AI how AI model handles it. But AI turn that into a basically a small groups, that each groups you can call it as a token. So here it provides the wait. Let me because directly we can jump to the tokenization. Let me just go through this. Where is the tokenizer? I think at 8. Yep. There are a lot of things, but I don't want to take much of time. So where is that exactly? I'm just looking for it. Yes. So now if you look at it, the tokens, but here also it was provided the tokens. Groups, yeah, in finance. Give me 2 minutes just to see the file, exact file where it was already built something, the visualization kind of. So okay, anyways, forget it. Yep. So because I had a better, the representation where if you just put the text, it will split into tokens. But anyways, so here you can see the context, if you have a context, this is your prompt basically. Let's say you have asked summarize the attached private equity fund quarterly report in 5 bullet points. So the AI basically, it will turn into a groups basically. The SUM is a one group, MAR, which is another group, IZD, which is again another group. So your summarized word, it turn into 3 groups basically, guys. So it means 3 tokens. So that will be your tokens. The another one is the is separate token. Then attach has split into 2. So again, it's created 2 tokens. So that's how basically, your normal prompt, it means text or the instructions basically, right? What you are instructing to the AI. So that is your prompt. So prompt AI will turn into tokens, and each token basically cost you. Now here the cost will be charged in 2 ways. One, that the input basically, you provide input. It means this is your input. And second one is, which is basically output. So whatever basically output, it will be generated, right? Let's say you're looking for a summary. So it means the financial reports, quarterly reports, basically you want the NAV, then uh, previous quarter value, maybe current quarter value, comparison, difference, change, the investor wise change, and so on. So this is basically you're looking for, and that's how you send the direction. Then AI basically split that into tokens, and each tokens cost you. So if you look at the here, the token economics, one token equal to 0.75 words. So this is how it calculates. So it means one token, let's say this one token, it will treat it as a 0.75 words. And this will cost you basically. So each token will cost you. So while using AI, make sure that you have better approach in place. If you don't know what to write, don't write then. If you just first understand in, before then what you want to write, because your text will turn into tokens to cost you. If you're let's say using your company's AI, then it will cost the, company basically. And in coming time, trust me, the companies will not allow everyone to use AI. They'll only allow the expert to use AI and handle the task, because more usage of AI, more cost it will incur to them. So more bill they'll have to pay, and the company is not going to do that. So all right, now I hope you get it. The token it means what exactly? Whatever you have your requirement, that will turn into a specific group, because the AI cannot understand this. So AI basically understand the computer basically, they understand the tokens, or AI also understand the tokens, and it matches with the billions of different parameters, and then provide you the output which you are looking for. The here also you can see how it had splitted. Look at this. This is what I was looking for. How tokens created. Even accounting can be treated as a one token. It depends. Means basically after your usage, it pairs more, and then save your cost as well. The other details you can read it. I don't want to get into more details. So how it will turn into, if you look at it, guys, see how actually the turn into means AI turn into tokens. Look at this. This is my prompt. During the quarter, the fund generated net return of 2.4%, or driven primarily so and so. If I write anything others as well, so basically that turn into a. So look at this. I have means written the prompt in the characters. There are 366 characters and 54 total words, and that 54 total words translated into estimated 99 tokens. Tokens, it means this is the part of your tokens. If I write anything, that will turn into tokens. Look at this. These are the tokens. And now if you calculate the the price for per token, so here is the price. Look at this. Estimated tokens in documents. If there are, let's say, tokens required, if you have a 112 pages, let's assume it, and each pages has a length of 120 120 pages, and queries against it count 40. So this is just again estimated things to calculate the cost of the AI, the prompt or AI, I would say, usage. And then estimated tokens, it will require around 13,440. So each input, it will cost you $0.04. So cost across all queries, no catching, it will cost you around $1.61. Okay. And now other way around, if I ask you to review 120 pages, how long it will take? Let's say assumption is 4 hours. AI will perform in just 10 minutes. Let's say your salary for per hour is $20. 20 into 4 hours. That would be around $80. And just look at $80 if you compare with the cost of AI, it's just around $1.61. Then your question would be, sir, again, after AI, worked on it. We need a review as well. But review, it will not take 4 hours, right? Let's say review required for 15 minutes or max 1 hour. 1 hour plus $1.61, so around $21 to $21, which is required. So company can save the extra 60 or 58 to $59, I would say, in that context. So that's how companies now, they're calculating ROI. But again, companies are still confused, as I said, to calculate the exact output for a task wise. My assumption is in coming time, companies should only allow the experts to handle the AI, and then they can calculate the output in a better way. So if you have LPA letters or financial statement with notes, it will cost you, it will have at least 900 to 1600 tokens. For LPA, 700 to 1100 tokens, which would be there, means that it will require to work on LPA, basically, I would say. For investor letter, something around 500 to 800 tokens, which are required. So now if you have a clarity of tokens, it means that basically your normal text, it will turn into groups, small groups. And each groups, the computer can treat as a tokens, or AI can treat as a tokens. And the tokens will cost you, basically. So make sure that while using AI, so you have the right approach in place. So here is the scenario which you can calculate things, how you can calculate and how it will cost you. This is something important. Very, very important, I would say. You should, if you don't know how we can calculate the cost of AI uses, then as a VP or director or manager, you won't be able to implement in a better way, because in coming time there would be a lot of questions around this. So if you want to implement AI, so tell me how we can calculate the ROI. Let's say you have a document size with the tokens of, okay, let me reduce the number. So 15,000. So queries you have asked, count queries, it means prompt, basically 40 times you have asked it. Instructions per query tokens, it will consume around 2000. Output per query tokens, which is required 80,000. So retrieved chunk size for a token should be around 4,000. Sorry, my bad. 2,000 and 1,800 and then 4,000. Okay. Then input price, if you look at it, this is something 3, and then output is 15, and cache right multiplier, it will again multiply it, because these are the used in the AI when the AI worked on your requirement. So if you look at it, the every full document, it will cost you around $3.12. But now if you compare it, it's a very cheap, because the AI companies, they are offering more discount basically on service. In coming time, the cost will be higher to use AI. The cache will cost you around $1.55, and then retrieve relevant section only would be around 1.80. So this is how you can see. For a full context, it will cost you $3.12. For cached, $1.55, and then 1.80 retrieval cost. It will cost you for kind of the document size, if you have around 15,000 pages. So total, if you just calculate the total cost, put everything together, send full document, query cost, then cache and retrieve relevant the information. So it will cost you around how much? $6 to $7, right? But the same, and again, the quality, accuracy, everything, of course, should be there. But still, human needs to review that part. So you cannot rely on AI to take care of everything. So AI need a manual intervention, so that AI can provide you output, but you can review it. But make sure that the AI provided output, if it is not correct, and if you try to do it manually, so it means your salary plus the AI cost, it will, the charge to the company. So company would be in losses then. Eventually, companies will have to pay double the cost. So that's what, if you're using AI, make sure that you have a right approach in place and you are using an efficient way. So you cannot use AI for a duplicacy of work. And even if you do, anyways, means now nobody is going to track, but in coming time, companies will track it out and they'll disable your access then if you're efficient to do so. Because this is how your salary will be calculated. I know that in India, we are getting paid in INR and still companies will be in profit if they hire more, the labor workforce from India and or implement AI in the business. But in US and UK, the hourly or yearly salary would be around 900, uh, 95,000, let's say, dollar, which is a base salary. If you add the bonus benefits and all others, so productive hourly salary, if you just calculate it, so would be around $98. It includes everything, means everything. Okay. And it depends, I mean, in the jurisdiction and even on the basis of job as well. If I talk about investment banking analyst job, so they'll earn around $98 per hour, even more than this as well. It depends, or even less, considering your leaves and everything. Now, if I talk about AI, it will not take leaves. It's on you 24/7, it will be available to work on. So you can ask to do any kind of task. AI, it will not deny it if it is, let's say, within your business policies, right? And handle any kind of work. So basically, if there is a good director, it means I'm talking about in a way that how you are efficient to handle the AI. So if you are efficient to handle the AI, right? So you can save the cost for a company. Basically, company can reduce the labors or analyst and implement the AI in a full capacity. And with the help of AI, you can handle all your different tasks as well. So basically, the analyst hourly charge more. And if I calculate the hourly charges of AI, it costs you very less, max $10 to $20, $10. But the output, let's say it becomes, uh, you know, output if goes wrong, and if you'll have to manually work on it, you will miss the deadline and you will have to again means think about in that way as well. So you cannot only think in one perspective, like if we implement AI, it will, let's say, save cost and reduce time and everything. Think from the safety, security, think from the even cost. What if that doesn't go well, then you will have to pay double the cost as well, like the labor and then AI, right? So think in that way as well. So this is as the salary of analyst means for getting paid. So with even, I mean, the different use cases we have referred to, just calculate the analyst salary and the AI expenses. So how AI will charge or token economies, it exactly works and how it works exactly. So AI will cost you around this one. If you look at it, around $53,000, it will cost you. And if you compare this with the analyst salary, it will cost you around $98,000, something like that. It will cost you if you hire analyst, right? So it depends. Now again, the AI cannot work on own because AI need experts. And if you hire, let's say, you know, the more and more analysts, your cost will double eventually. But if you balance it out, let's say AI plus analyst, you can save cost, I would say, to some extent, because AI works on the basis of tokens. If you have less tokens, if you use less tokens and work effectively, would be more beneficial to the company because company will incur less cost, right? So here we have a breakdown of a cost, yearly cost. Token one token, basically it will cost you 102, and then platform license and implementation, SME training, maintenance, compliance. So it includes all. Basically for first 1 year, cost will around, let's say, 53,000 for AI company, the companies who gonna implement the AI in their business first year. But if you look at the after 1 year, certain expenses it will reduce. Implementation cost it will reduce. The SME training cost it will reduce. Training cost it will reduce. The maintenance and compliance, of course, it will be there, but again it will reduce as well. So you can see a drastic change in cost. But in terms of analyst every year will have to pay what? Bonuses, salary hike, and other expenses. But in case of AI, max you would see the inflation cost companies may charge. But this is how AI token economics basically it will works. I mean, first year it will cost you more, but in a second year it will cost you less. But in a labor workforce, if you hire analysts every year, you will have to pay 10%, 5%, 20% to make them happy and to ask them to do work more. But both are different things. Again, you cannot compare AI versus analyst, right? Humans are humans. There is no comparison between. But again, if you utilize AI, so you can boost your productivity basically. That's how you can calculate, right? And in an interview also, if you have any deep interview for director or VPs for AI implementation or project management, and if they ask about how we can calculate the tokens economics with the workforce and what would be a best approach, and in coming time, definitely companies will look for this, how we can balance out the AI plus workforce. Then in that way, you should have understanding of both the things, right? So yeah, this is how you can also test it out. So basically it's not necessary that we should go through each one by one, but if you want you can just go through it. So this is how AI it will cost you basically, guys. Fewer errors, worse errors, and in case of any kind of error happened, or any kind of things happen, let's say it goes against you, that's what, as I said, it will even exceed your cost as well. So expected cost it was, let's say, $13,200, but with AI assisted it has been almost double, or yeah, double or triple, I would say. Why? Because some error happened and now things which are not in your favor, just because you have used AI. There was one of the company, was in news, I think in last month. They incurred the AI bill of around $400. Sorry, 400 crore something. So these things happen. So you should, control the uses of AI within enterprises. If it is not necessary, do not use it. If it is necessary, then use it. But make sure that the wrong rate or even metrics, it will cost you more. So make sure you have a right approach in place. So this is just, these are the user stories or use cases, I would say, so that you can refer and go through it, because each one, if you go through it, it will take at least 5 to 6 hours. So I don't want to now take more of your time. But here, a lot of things that I have covered after doing research, so it will help you maybe to manage your role or use AI in effective way. And if you want to see, there are packages that the AI offers. I have shared already link in the group. Claude charge more around, if you want to use, let's say, max one, it costs you around 10,000 per month. GPT has a similar plan, 2 to 3,000 and 4,000 something for a max 20,000. Group has a 20,000 plus. But the Hostinger they offer, even Hostinger has AI as well. So I have shared the link. If you want to use AI, so you can try, because the IPO model that initially which we have discussed, I have built with the help of Hostinger's AI model. And if you want to build something on your own, so it costs you around 500 something or 1,000 rupees max, or 2,000 rupees something, because on the basis of queries that you run, it charges it. So you can use Hostinger as well. So this is the option. You have multiple options, but you can go through. If you really want to use it, for complex data, I would suggest go with the Claude. If not, then you can use Hostingus for building kind of any model or logs or any kind of other things. Depends on your capacity of spending. If you want to spend more, you can. All right, so I'm done with today's, guys, because again it's the 2 hours, which is very less time to say, but I tried to just cover the important aspect. But still, if you want, we can connect maybe next month with the different use cases. But we need a full 5 to 6 hours discussion to go over. So any question? Go ahead with your question, I would say. If there are no questions, then we can close the conversation. I'll share the link of this platform where you can access the AI content. I'll share the link in the chat box as well. And all my other simulations would be live here only on this site, the iFinage. You can access from there. How was the session? A lot of things that we covered in just 2 hours. You might feel overweighted. So was it insightful or not, guys?